Okay, thanks.
So,
So, hi and welcome.
Thank you.
To the Mother Frequency podcast. I'm so excited to have you.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, this is my second guest, Simina Grigoriu. Always having trouble pronouncing names.
That's all right.
Yeah, and yeah, we've known each other probably for I don't know how many years now. I think it was like 2018. I was looking up when we had first met. We were playing together in Frankfurt. Yeah, which is really nice, and both living in Berlin. But I want to get you to introduce yourself and tell the audience a little bit about you and yeah.
Well, my name's Simina Grigoriu. I am a DJ, producer. I have a label, Kuka Records, and I'm a mom. That is, of all the jobs and all the hats that I wear, that is the most important one. To me, the most profound one, because it's something that I didn't always know I was going to be a musician. Yes, I did. Somehow I kind of did. But I always knew I was going to be a mom. I don't know if it had something to do with, I don't know, I had a very tumultuous, troublesome childhood, and I'm sort of reliving a happy childhood through my children. And I'm doing things very differently to my family did. Not to say it one way is good or bad or whatever, but it's very different. You know what I mean? We have the freedom to be able to be mindful. They had a different mentality that did not allow for feelings and personal development in the way that I want for my children. So I'm doing things differently, and it's important.
That's so amazing. Yeah, I think like that is the beauty of being a mum, becoming a mum, and being able to be that version or the best version that you want to as well. Of being, a mum and being able to, like you said, you can give your daughters perhaps the childhood that you didn't or some experiences that you didn't have.
Yeah.
And that was going to be my main question actually to start with was, did you always know that you were going to be a mum?
I always wanted to have kids, but I also was very, very selfish. I hadn't grown up myself. I feel like I've done a lot of growing up by becoming a mother. So nobody prepares you for this. Nobody.
No. Oh my God.
You can read all the books. I read all the books. I watched
and you
the podcast.
gave me a book as well.
Yes, that one was actually really good. What was it? The French children don't throw food?
I think so, yeah.
That one is great. That one is great because it really shows the differences
between... And there were the little tags you gave me, which is amazing. But you still...
Oh, the nanny one. No. That's the angel nanny, yeah. Yeah, I did give you a book with a lot of tabs in it.
Which was perfect, though, because like you said, no one prepares you. You've got, like, no idea. Even if, your mum tells you or grandma or family tell you, like, what to expect, it's going to be always very different and very personal.
And every kid is also different. Every child gets a different parent. Isabella, who's now 11 years old, got a very different mother than Rosie when she was born.
Yeah.
Rosie's 5 years old. They got a completely different version of me.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I'm growing along with them.
Yeah.
And it's part of the beauty. It's part of the pain. It's part of all of it.
How did you find, when, you had Rosie, like, I always wonder that because, I've got Cosmo and I'm like only child. And sometimes, and just recently I've been thinking about maybe would I have a second child? I don't know. I was always thinking just have one, but I'm always unsure about, that the connection. Will it be the same or will you be different? And it's not going to be obviously the first time, the first experiences, I don't know. You can share with me maybe how it was for you.
I mean, okay, in our situation, first of all, Rosie was a COVID baby.
Yeah.
So during COVID, I saw a lot of people splitting up and a lot of people having babies.
Of course.
It's like one of the two things. And for me, it took me a really long time to not come back to playing, because I started playing like 6 months after I had Izzy. But like, what does that mean going back to work? I'm not going to a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I'm leaving for one night to play one show, get paid money to play music, which is the best job in the world.
Definitely.
Right? So like when you think of this thing like going back to work, like, yeah, there's a time requirement there. Like my going back to work was
but
once in a while,
it's still putting your mindset into that, putting your energy into something other than your child.
So with Rosie, I knew, I think, it's also not, we never advertise it, but I am separated, from Paul. We've been separated for 3.5 years. The divorce is still ongoing. We're friendly. But we both knew at that time that we both wanted another kid. Like, he's got a brother, I've got a brother. and we always wanted like that
The sibling
that
connection,
sibling
right? Yeah.
connection, yeah. And I don't know why. I just wanted her to have somebody to
Yeah.
grow up and grow through life with. And because it took me so long to basically I went back to playing and then I went back on birth control.
Okay.
And then it was like the IUD, so you have like a 5 year gap, like
Of
a
course.
5 year
Yeah. Yeah.
maximum. And then COVID hit, and I was like, okay, well, what do we do with this thing? This thing has to come out. You know what I mean?
And if you're
I'm
going to
either
try,
yeah,
you need to do
I'm
do
either
it
going
now.
to take it out and put another one back in, and we're with one baby, or let's try
Yeah.
it for a second one. And it happened right away.
Wow.
Not rosy. I had a miscarriage right
Oh
away.
boy.
This was also really tough also for Izzy because we got really, really excited about it. And we took her to the doctor and she was excited about being a big sister. And it was 6 weeks later and then it was just over.
That'd
And
be
I felt
so
it.
hard. Yeah.
I felt it right away. I felt like from 1 minute to the next, my boobs drained and it was gone. And then he's like, how do you know? And I was like,
You just know,
because you just know,
right? Yeah, of course.
And literally it feels like balloons draining, right? And then
It's so upsetting to hear.
It is hard to hear. It was hard to go through. But would I have Rosie? No, I would not have Rosie. So that had to happen for me to get to where I am now.
Of course.
And there's a really beautiful philosophy when I had a retreat in Puerto Rico, and one of the medicine women was talking about, she said, all children are born. Some are born to the stars and some are born to the earth. So we have to honor the ones born to the stars, whether it's an abortion, your decision, a miscarriage, God's decision, whatever chromosome decision. I don't know, like maybe there's a disease, whatever it is, that wasn't meant to happen.
Okay, yeah.
So it's about acceptance. So when I got pregnant with Rosie, it was like, okay.
It's a beautiful way to look at the picture like this.
Yeah, and it was exciting, but it was also scary. And it was like, okay, I've done this before, but I don't know how it's gonna be. And you always think like, okay, maybe they should, if they're close together in age, then you can kind of manage them better. But no, because they're fucking the same age. You know what I mean? There's advantages and disadvantages of both. So Izzy was really excited, and she was
to
helpful
be a big
and,
sister.
And then COVID was over, and then we had a baby. We had a baby and a kid in first grade. So I think it's just like how
kind of like starting again, though, isn't it? Like it's a big gap, but I mean, that's what I would think. You've got, the bigger brother or the bigger sister like to look after, but maybe not because they're going through a different stage now. She's already going to school.
Adaptability, it was my best friend and is my best friend. Discernment and adaptability. Those are my two best friend words. And like, I can't live my life without those two things. You can't. You can't be a mom without being able to adapt.
Exactly.
Because it's not about you anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's crazy, isn't that? You just have your full focus. Like, I mean, I know when becoming a mum, it was like just anything to do with my kind of like self-care just went out the window because you're just solely focused on your child.
Yeah.
To the point where, you're not even eating properly, you're not obviously not sleeping properly, everything. So having two would be even more.
Yeah.
You need to manage and adapt, to every step.
Yeah. Well, that's why COVID also hit me a little differently than it hit everyone else, because I also I would be having the exact same lifestyle had there not been COVID. I would be inside. Like, my pregnancies were horrendous. I was not the type of person. I was actually very not jealous, because I don't get jealous anymore. But I was like, how are they doing this? How are these yoga moms doing it? They're like stick skinny with a little belly. I was two people. I put on another person. I was like 58 kilos when I started with Izzy, and I was 104 kilos at the end. And this is also something we can talk about.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy how your body just, maybe I was fortunate with my pregnancy. I only did get like front heavy. But I don't know if this is also having a boy versus having a girl. You hear about this, don't you? That the girls make more rounder. Yeah,
but it's also the lifestyle. I mean, I went from doing whatever the fuck I wanted to now no smoking, no drinking, no other things.
And also you're probably not going out fast-paced lifestyle, dancing a lot.
Right.
Anymore.
And then feeling literally like I'm being taken over by an alien.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of energy as a human being, and when pregnancy hit, it was like boom, done.
And then the energy's going there to creating this little life as well, literally sucking everything out.
Yeah. So for me, my sense of identity was
really hard to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like after I was actually looking at pictures just just last week of when we brought Izzy home. And I looked like I was carrying triplets when I came home from the hospital. You know, people, oh, it's just water weight, it's just your uterus. Okay, it is whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it's still not the identity that I was used to. You know what I mean?
Course.
So you have to
That would have been really hard to to suddenly, not be yourself like at all.
Yeah, and you need time to adjust to being a mother because I have a problem like when women say like I want my pre-baby body bath back. You're never going to have that. You may be fit, you may be skinny, you may have a lot of energy, you may look even
body
better.
Changes, yeah.
But you can, by definition, you can never have a pre-baby body because you've had a baby.
Exactly.
Right? You've had that
Something
baby.
has to shift. Something's moved. A lot has moved around.
Right. So it's about acceptance and finding who you are as a mother, and that doesn't happen overnight.
No.
You know? I'm still finding out who I am.
I think so. It's crazy. And actually just this weekend, you know, back in Berlin, like this is where we're recording the podcast from, and I was playing a show and I thought I would take myself out, go to like some of the clubs around here. And it's just, it's not the same feeling, you know, like I'm a mum now. I view things differently. I look at things differently. And also I wouldn't allow myself to be completely out of control anymore.
Yeah.
Because you got to think about somebody else, you know, but not because you have to, but you just do.
Yeah.
It's that mother instinct now. And it's like that extra level of responsibility just comes in. You're like, actually, now I need to respect my body more because I need to be there for someone else.
Exactly. And this is what I was coming back to with like the kids are not listening. They're watching. So I can tell them eat your vegetables. I can tell them be nice to your sister.
But if you're not doing
exactly. So the way that I speak to myself, like even because I talk to myself all the time, I'm like I just look like I'm batshit crazy all the time, and
not
it's
at
okay.
all. I think it's important.
I embrace it. But they hear me talking to myself, and I talk to myself. I talk to my inner child all the time. And it's with kindness and compassion. And if I could go back, like I don't have any regrets because every single
I always say the same.
Every mistake has brought me to here.
You need to get to the point. Yeah,
exactly. I wouldn't be sitting here with you had I done everything perfectly. I wouldn't be somewhere else, right? So all of my mistakes, we are the sum of our decisions. And every single mistake, every decision I've ever made has made me the person who I am now. And thank God for discernment, which is something I did not used to have. But I don't know. I forgot my train of thought. Choo-choo.
Yeah,
where was I going with this?
But
yeah, if there's one thing
about the way you talk,
if there's one thing I could go back and actually really change about the way that I used to be, is that voice inside my head.
Yeah.
Because the voice inside my head is also the voice inside their head. So the way that I speak to my children, the way that I help them through an issue, any problem, whether it's with a friend or I don't know, if they're pissed off about anything, the way that I help them through it is the way they're going to talk to themselves, right? And that's what we want, is for them to be kind and gentle to themselves. And how are they going to do that if someone's just like, oh, do this, do that, do that? This is where it comes back to, I do things a little differently than my family did.
Of course, yeah. And also just the actions of, you know, like even if you maybe at the shops or how you interact with, I don't know, anybody, like, you know, wherever you're going, they're watching and listening everything. And it's crazy that, and I can see now Cosmo's like, you know, almost 1.5, but he copies anything, you know, even if it's like my facial expressions, like I do this with my eyebrows, he copies me back, and the speech, you know, and that for me when becoming a mum was like, it was so important to try and embody that, especially while being pregnant, was like not to feel stressed, not to feel angry. I mean, I know you can't control hormones and the way we feel and things that trigger us sometimes, but 99% of the time, like as much as I can remain calm and effective, you know.
Yeah, but I think it's also important to give space to those emotions, because I come from a family where when I was angry, it's not a family, it's a community. It's the Romanian communist mentality that you're not allowed to have those feelings. A woman should be a certain way, speak a certain way, withhold your tears, hold your anger. Don't be sad. Don't, you know what I mean? Like you don't want to. You were
born in Romania but grew up in Canada, right? So different.
But I want my kids to feel their emotions, because if they don't feel the sadness that they have going on right now, it's going to manifest into something else. Yeah. So it's also why it's important for them to have like an outlet, like dance it out.
Exactly.
Have a therapist, whatever, music, art, whatever it is.
And that's my next question as well. I would like to talk about, obviously being DJs, mums surrounded by music, loving music as well. I think, this obviously plays a massive role in maybe the way our children respond. While you were pregnant, were you playing certain tracks to your girls or certain styles of music, or is there something that they love like more?
I will be very honest with all of you, okay? As musical as I am, when I was pregnant, I was watching TV. I was sitting on that couch. I think I watched every single episode of every series ever made. Okay, this is the level of energy that I had.
Of course,
I had no motivation. I had gestational diabetes. I was not nice to myself during my pregnancy, and my pregnancy was not nice to me.
And that was for both of them the same?
It was
almost?
harder with Izzy because I basically quit everything from one day to the next.
Yeah.
And for somebody who was looking for external pleasure, validation, so all of my
was Izzy planned, or like
Izzy
did it happen?
Izzy was
planned,
to a certain degree. We were trying. Yeah, we were trying.
But it was still like, hang on a second, now I've got to stop everything.
Well, no, not really, because we were trying. We were waiting for her. We wanted her.
You're like, so we're going to make this happen.
I'm not, I mean, you guys don't know me, but I'm a very open person. But no, we were definitely like looking to make a baby.
Yeah.
I just had no idea what the fuck that would entail, I thought it was going to be like, I thought I could keep playing. Also, I think we were talking earlier about like sound in the womb.
Exactly.
I was afraid about. I was afraid
DJing out.
Yeah, there is no.
There's no
danger.
Yeah, there's no real. What's the word? Reports or like you can't really test, on pregnant women. That's what we were trying to research as well at the time. But from what I was told that it's so thick. The uterus wall and with all the water in there.
Yeah, and their ears are plugged up with fluid.
Yeah.
And there's and like they're literally in a womb, and there's a sound going it's like a womb, womb,
exactly.
like a deep dark bass.
Yeah.
And I remember Mark Reeder one time he was talking in an interview about how the techno club is like a womb. Right?
The base
of the techno club and the people and all of these entities, inside of this container. And this is exactly what's happening in the womb. You got the main thing, the DJ, or the people, whatever it is, the thing. And then all these things happening around this entity, but she's safe,
protected, completely.
And I wanted to play. I wanted to be motivated and play. And I couldn't do more than 3 months. At what point?
Okay, so after 3 months of being pregnant. And
yeah. I had no energy. I couldn't stay awake. I couldn't stay awake past 7. And I started to look different. I started to waddle already.
And also when you want to go and perform, you want to be feeling like, energetic and yourself.
It felt like a hostile takeover.
And because you want to be able to reflect that, to your audience. But I can imagine if you were feeling that way.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I don't remember exactly which gig it was, the first one. I came back after 6 months. Some gig in Germany, it was a club. I'm sure it was a great gig, but all I remember is being extremely insecure.
Okay, yeah.
Feeling like I don't belong there. Who am I? How did I leave my baby at home?
And also you're focusing, on your baby.
Right. And the first thing I did was take a shot at tequila and be like, okay, I'm back. Like, ew, no. You just went right back to who you were before. So I was
trying to be like, and you're not.
So I was struggling with addiction again. I was struggling with my demons again. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, it took me a long time to find my identity as a mom and a DJ. But the thing that kept me motivated is knowing that I'm doing the thing that makes me happy.
Yes.
And if I don't do the thing that makes me happy, then I'm teaching them to abandon themselves.
Exactly.
I had some dental work done. It feels like my teeth are too big in my mouth. That's why I'm lisping a little bit. But
no, you sound perfect.
Yeah. So I just continue to do it. But
it's really hard, isn't it? It's hard to just be able to snap your fingers and go back into doing what you were doing in the same way. But like you said, you need to adapt and learn and try and figure out this new version of yourself, basically.
And I did birth 2 babies actually, because during my pregnancy with Izzy, because I couldn't play, I didn't cancel any shows. I canceled one show, by the way. I'll come back to this 2 baby thing, because I remember like when I was reviewing your list of questions, and one of them was like, when did you go back to playing? Well, I'll tell you when I stopped playing, and it was like devastating to me because I was on an agency with Format B and on their label with Formatic,
Yeah.
and they had a showcase at Watergate, and I was like, yes, Watergate, and it was going to be main floor because I had played downstairs, and I love the water floor. I love the water floor.
It's great.
But you know, you want to be upstairs with the neon lights and all that, and it was supposed to be like a showcase, and then it was like 2 days before something happened to me in my stomach. Not detrimental to the kid, nothing bad. I was just like having such deep pains, which ended up being gas. Okay, but I thought I was
Little did you know though at the
dying.
time. My
I thought I
goodness.
was dying because things are moving around and
Yeah.
like, and I thought I was dying. And I went to the doctor, and they're like, take this, and it didn't go away. And then, in the end, I had to cancel that gig. Like, basically tell them, I'm sorry, guys,
Just
I
like a
can't
last
come.
minute,
Yeah.
Oh,
And
and you would have been loving
then I
to
was
play
like,
the.
I was looking forward to this for so long. You know what I mean?
And especially now Watergate's
So there's
closed.
the first,
So yeah.
there was that first sacrifice. But in the end, I did what was right for myself, you know?
Of course, yeah.
So that was a decision. I'm not going to play anymore until I have the baby. I breastfed not long with Izzy, was 3 months. And then we were doing back and forth because also like Paul wanted to help out and I wanted to like get back to my life. And
Did you, were you able to like connect well, like with the breastfeeding? You didn't have any problems there? Or was
not
it
really.
was
I didn't
like,
have I didn't have any problems, but it was also annoying. It was also, I loved it, but it was also annoying.
I think, yeah.
You know what I
also,
mean?
there's something you have no idea about. Like I didn't
I'd
understand
be in the
anything.
park and somebody else's kid cries, and then my boobies start to
You're
lactate.
very sensitive. I've heard that. It never
Right.
happened to me. Like, or they say, like, if you're away from your baby and they're crying,
Or
that
you
can
just hear
still
another
feel it.
kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you just think about them. Like, it's all interconnected.
Yeah.
So I did not understand how miraculous this body of ours is.
No,
until we had
incredible
babies.
the way, like, the changes and what functions, I should say, like what happened. I'm saying it.
And also, we don't have to do anything. It does it.
It just
So
does it,
that's
yeah.
the miracle of birth, is like your body will do it. The hard part, yes, it's a whole thing like for your body to do, but the hard part is how the fuck are you going to be with that baby once it comes out? Have you worked through your trauma? Have you worked through your childhood things? What decisions have you made? Because you have to make a decision what kind of mom you're going to be.
Exactly.
Right?
But then you also have no idea what being a mum is.
Exactly.
So you're like, hang on, I need to figure this out. And then it's moving at such a fast pace. And it's like you don't even have those moments to think clearly.
Yeah. So what did I do in my pregnancy? I basically I was sitting in studio. My brother was living up in Berlin at the time, and he was my engineer at the time. And I was just sitting and producing. And
At least you could be creative and
that's
sit in
all
that
I
flow.
could do. So I created what I thought was an album. And then in the end, one of my friends said to me, everyone has their own labels. Why don't you just open a label? Like, nobody's making albums anymore. If you're going to put out an album and then...
Put it on your own label.
Right? So that's what I did. And I opened Cuckoo Records.
No way. So
And
that's when it established. And
how
it's
it
10
started.
years now,
yeah,
right?
10 years to the day.
Congratulations.
So the boat party coming up now,
Yeah.
I had no idea. But like the way that this happened, July 11th, 2026, and my first record was July 11th, 2016.
That's incredible.
Insane. And it was Ninja Princess, Techno Monkey Ninja Princess, me and my little, because she was a ninja
Yeah, she's a
inside there.
little
You could
ninja.
see them kicking and shit. It's crazy.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
amazing.
So I decided to open this label, and then that was, I birthed 2 babies at once.
As well, yeah. And so you've got your project, and then and watching them both grow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That
to
was a
see.
challenge. How do you run a label? I don't run a label.
Exactly.
I have people for that. I do the creative bits. I do the A&R. I talk to the artists, but like,
But you're still running it though, and
I'm
that's
not
a
doing
lot.
contracts. I'm not talking to Beatport. I'm not talking to distribution. If I did that, I would have no time for my actual
Exactly.
kids.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, also, I'm obviously running a label as well. I think you need to separate some parts of it. So I had a label manager as well last year. This year, my partner and I, we've taken on more work ourselves because I wanted to get back and involved in doing this as well. But you need to, like you said, you need to realize what time do I want to invest, because what time is going to take away from spending with your children as well. And I think that's more important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just you do like the creative side of everything when it comes to like, the business, making music, And then if you can get someone else to help with that, do it. So that you can put your full focus on your kids.
I mean, I grew up in a way, I really felt like I had to prove myself all the time. So my standards for myself were way too high. Zero room for error. And I was not okay or comfortable asking for help. So even just delegating tasks to a person who is getting paid by me to do said tasks was a problem. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
And slowly I've learned to delegate
To be able to
and
do this.
let people
Is it more
help
that you wanted to have control and you like to do things more yourself?
No,
or is
it was an inner voice saying that if you let somebody else do it, it means you're not doing the job and you're not good enough.
Of course, yeah. I always felt exactly the same.
Keeping
and
me
I
in
tried
a masculine
Yeah, I
energy
tried
only.
to always do this as well. But I must say that since having like Cosmo, then I was like, I'm fine too, because he's my priority now.
Exactly.
So I am capable of doing these things, but if I can get somebody and pay them to do it faster,
Of course.
and I don't have to have my attention onto that, then do it.
Yeah.
It's great to do that. Yeah.
It's about letting go. It's a big process, like to be able to let people help you.
Exactly.
I see it also in my family. There are women in my family who will not allow other people to help them and will just have to do everything by themselves because that's how they've been taught.
Exactly.
And I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the hard mom who feels like, and because then you transfer all that to your kids.
And also, though, coming from like, a musical background with both of us as well, I feel like because that version of us, or that, that person that goes out and performs and on stage, like, I mean, it is still who we are, but that's a different profile. And
It's a character.
It's a character.
It's not separate from me.
And
it's
when
part
you're back
of me.
at home, you're like, you're a mum, like you're being a mum, and like, it's like trying to, well, for me, it was not losing that version of myself, and not what we've spoken about already, but equally, I don't know, not allowing that to take over, and that's what I mean. Coming back to the independence, it's like if you're just going to be at home or staying at home or being a mum, are you going to lose that identity completely?
I've decided that I'm going to show them exactly who I need to be so that they can decide that they have that choice. So they don't have to be like me. They don't have to do anything that I want them to do. They have to do what they want to do. I want the biggest goal for me, for my children, is to remove those limitations. Yeah. Don't let anybody tell you what you should or what you shouldn't. Not even me. Don't let even me, because it's going to come out. Oh, you should. I hate should. I hate the word should. Yeah. Right? You could.
It's an automatic, thing to be able to say, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and to just lift those limitations and let them see that, like, for example, like when I went to go play last week, Rosie was sad, and I was like, baby, mommy's going to play music. Yeah. I love to do this.
That's what I say. Cosmo, mommy's making people dance. And like, you love dancing.
And also, I love to do this. Yeah. I love to be with you, and I love to do this.
She gets sad if you leave for shows.
She gets sad when I leave for about 5 minutes until the nanny calls me and tells me everything is fine. But it's important for me not to say no to myself just because somebody told me I shouldn't. Yeah. Taking care of your heart is the most important thing.
It is, yeah. And I think these are all factors. But I mean, I want to talk about also when you go away, you go on play shows, and how often are you playing gigs? Like, how are the girls like when you're leaving, Well, is it hard, or as soon as you go away, are you calling and looking at photos of them? I know I do.
I used to. The more I've grown as a human being, the less I do that, because I know my connection to them is so deep already. I don't miss them the way that I used to. Yeah. Because I realized it was an external thing. It was like I was trying to make myself feel better about leaving. Now I don't feel guilty about leaving because I know exactly the purpose for which I'm leaving. You're doing.
Yeah, you're going to, as I said, to play or to perform, and it makes you really happy.
And I'm not leaving. And this is also a decision I made. Like, I have been doing this. I moved to Berlin in 2008. Yeah, that's almost 20 years. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it.
That's amazing.
And you know, within the first 10 years, like I played every German, Austrian, Swiss village there is to play. I have paid my dues.
I think I've done the rounds of Germany.
I've paid my dues. So for me,
every club you can think of
exactly.
around.
I'm not even talking clubs. I'm talking like village parties. Okay, where like I remember one time they threw a bread at my head because the guy before me was playing Schlager. I was like, why did you guys book me? Things like that, you know. So I've paid my dues. I'm not playing shows because opportunities are coming.
Yeah.
I'm playing the shows I want to.
Yeah, you can be
So
selective, right?
I would rather play one show per month than be gone every single weekend. And you know, they're growing up fast.
Yeah.
And it's important for me to do both, but it's important for me to know that I'm leaving to contribute to something, not just to play another show.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's quality over quantity.
100%.
And I feel that with every single in every subject of my, like, friends.
Yeah.
I don't have a boyfriend. There's a reason I don't have a boyfriend. I'm not looking for a boyfriend. I'm looking for someone who can match me, someone who can grow with me, not someone to fill up that time, right? And I feel the same way about my gigs, about my friends, about food that I eat, like quality.
It's amazing, isn't it? Like, I think when you just finally click and you're like, what was I doing all those years before? Like, you know, and like you said, you're just saying yes, perhaps to anyone and everything, you know, and now it's like, no, I'm going to make a formal decision of what I want to do.
But that's okay. That's okay, because without having done all of that, you wouldn't have the discernment to make that decision now.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, I'm exactly at that point now where I'm taking less shows as well, and it's the ones that I want to do and be selective. And equally, like, I don't feel bad or say guilty or however when I'm going away, because I know that I'm going to perform and it's something I love so much, and I'm going to utilize that time. It's not like I'm going just to get like fucked up somewhere or go or just to party and, you know, be feeling sorry for myself, like.
And also we don't work like when we go, it's a different dynamic. Like when I'll leave on a Friday morning and come back on a Saturday evening. Yeah. Or if I play 2 shows on a Sunday, what am I doing with the rest of that time? I'm with them.
Yeah.
Right now with the separation, we're doing, it's not 50-50, but of course he needs to bond with his children and have that time too. So I have a little bit of free time where I get my work done too, but like when I'm with them, it's them. Yeah. Right? I'm not taking time. My computer's not open.
Exactly.
I'm not on the phone. So
it's so important to do that. Like at one point I was really trying to juggle, you know, trying to do some work, having my phone, and I was like, this is crazy. I need to separate it.
Of course.
You know, and because it's so important to be 100% engaged, isn't it? And then when I'm away, like example on this weekend, it's like I'll spend that time, like yesterday, going through music, you know, researching, doing whatever I can.
Or doing nothing. Or doing absolutely nothing and laying in a
silence,
hotel bed with breakfast, room service, and whatever 15 rom-coms you want to watch all day. And you deserve that too.
It took me a while to get used to doing that, actually. But the last couple of weekends, I was like, oh, is this what I used to do? Yeah. I was like, did I just do nothing?
I had a moment like that, like a little while ago. I was just, I sat down, I plopped down on the couch at like 12, like midday, and I just started watching a movie, and then, you know, the intrusive thought like came in, like, what do you think you're doing?
Yeah,
watching
you should
a movie
be doing something, right?
And then I turned around to that thought and I was like, bro, when should I do it? They're going to be home in 2 hours. I'm going to be with them for the rest of the day. Yeah. The next morning is school. I have to work. I have things to do. They need me at the label. I have an interview. This is the only 2-hour break that I have, so I'm going to watch a movie in the middle of the day.
And just going to switch off and do nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and not feel like, oh my goodness, I need to be doing washing or cooking something.
We should ourselves a lot in our heads. Yeah. There's too much shoulding, and shoulding is not... It can be motivational, but a should is actually blame shifting. Yeah. Right? If you should be doing this, then you're doing the wrong thing because you should be doing something else. Exactly. Right? Yeah. So the word should in itself is very it just means you're doing the wrong thing. Right? So if you say that to kids a lot, should, then they think they're doing things wrong. Exactly. Right? So it's about, like, I don't know, I think the way we approach speaking to people is very important. Starting with ourselves. The way I speak to myself is the way I speak to my kids. The harder I am on myself, I'm going to be hard on them. I see it with my mom. I see it with my grandma. I'm different.
Yeah. And you can learn, isn't it? You've taken perhaps their actions and the way they were talking and speaking, and like you're like, I'm not going to do this. This is the way. Yeah, very important too.
Yeah, it's about the end goal. How do I want to feel? Do I want to have a house full of stress and people with like frazzled nervous systems because I shooted them into place? Or do I want to walk them through this so that they can also find the answers for next time for themselves?
Yeah.
The teeth. The teeth are weird.
And how are the girls now? So this morning, as example, we were talking about being a mum, right? So
in the spirit
I
of
want
the
to
mom
talk.
show,
I want to get like a day in the life of Simina.
Well,
so it's Monday morning.
Monday
right?
morning, yeah. So we live very close to school. So Izzy goes on her own. She goes and comes and goes on her own, and she likes to go earlier to like hang out with her friends, which is great because I don't have to. Yeah, I don't need to pull anybody's legs to like get out of bed and stuff. Rosie's more at the age where she's like very glued to me, which I love. It's
That's
not
sweet. How old is she
very
now?
sweet. She's 5.5. 5.5. Yeah,
In
the
these
repair.
moments.
The repair is important. I mean, rupture is inevitable.
Yeah.
These things will always happen in any relationship. If you're unhealed and taking drugs all the time, it's going to happen every fucking day.
Yeah.
But if you're really taking care of your heart and your head and doing the work, like I've been, you know my ayahuasca path. I've been on this camino for a long time. It's not a joke for me.
No.
It's not a one-time experience. It's who I am.
Yeah.
You know, it's who I am, and it has helped me to.
Because you've taken the time to
strip down what's not mine, so that I can become who I am and become the person that I want to be as a human, as a mother, right? As a mother, as a woman, and as a human being.
I mean, and that's incredible because it's like you or not even know, you looked at yourself, you're like, these are the areas that I want to work on, and I'm going to do that.
I wanted to know who I am.
Constantly, like, as well, because we're forever like changing as well. And yeah, sometimes even I see myself slip back into like an old pattern or something like that. And I'm like,
identities.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't want to be that person anymore. Like I've come this far, and also becoming a mum, like I'm so grateful for that because it's changed who I am and the way I look at the world and look at myself.
Things I used to think were cool are not cool anymore.
No.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like when I see like young girls swearing and stuff. I mean, I talk like a sailor, but it's not cool.
Yeah.
Smoking cigarettes is not cool. Like I still smoke and I'm like, ew.
Yeah.
What part of my identity is that? Because I could easily put on a patch or just stop. I stopped everything else. I don't drink alcohol. I don't put shit up my nose. I don't do any of the things I used to do for a very long time because I was hiding.
Yeah.
I was hiding from who I truly
and
was.
it's like,
I hadn't worked
for what
it out.
reason are you doing those things? Like
Exactly.
to be like to accentuate, like I said, like another part of you, maybe not the part that we want to be.
It could be also like ADHD brain trying to self-medicate.
Yeah.
And I think for me, especially as musicians, all of us.
Yeah.
But for me, I was running. Mm-hmm. I was running from a person I didn't like, and I was trying to become somebody else by putting substances in my body, and that was like the opposite of who I actually am. But I had to do that for 30 years to know now exactly who I actually am. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And becoming a mum, do you think that like was the starting point for you to change, want to change? I mean, I know saying change is also a very strong word. But
but this was also a stress that came to me. I actually started drinking again. Not heavily drinking, but a lot of moms do this. My mom said, pay attention to what you're doing because you're drinking, you're having a glass of wine at like 5, 6, because it's like socially acceptable and you've had a long day with a baby.
And you think it's okay to unwind this way.
But then it becomes a pattern, right? Until I actually started with medicine, that was really difficult for me because it stripped away. First it went into detox mode, getting all of the shit out of my body. Then we went into childhood mode. That was really difficult. Once I started working through all of that, then I started getting to who is the woman, though? Okay, fine. We're talking to the little girl. I talk to the little girl all the time, but who is the woman? Okay, fine. Now you know who the woman is, but who is the woman you want to be? And that's the luxury, is having the decision, the luxury of being able to decide that.
Isn't it? Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't have to be stressed out. I can choose to be not stressed out. What do I have to do to be that person? And then
it's
you
also
go backwards
recognizing
from
that, right? Like, and that's the biggest step, because I think a lot of people don't want to even like get to that point. You know, they just like, they're happy to keep taking stuff, drinking, you know, and hiding that factor.
And it's okay. I mean, look, substances are substances. I like ayahuasca is also taking me out of my normal state of being. People call it a drug. We do not. We call it a medicine because that's what it is. But the fact of the matter is, you're going into a different state
Of course,
of consciousness.
But sometimes I think you need to alter the mind in some way to be able to open up and see a bit more clear.
Of course, and also it's about your personality. I mean, there are people who then become addicted to ayahuasca. Like, you got to look at why are you there?
Why are you
there
doing
every
it?
weekend? You don't need that every weekend.
What are you
Go sit
seeking?
and integrate that, right? Go sit and integrate that, because maybe that's what you need to work on, is why you keep coming back to alter your state of being. And it's boring sometimes to be sober. And sometimes I wonder what it would be like to have a drink. But I have revoked my contract with the spirit of alcohol. If I were to ever drink again, bye-bye, Simina. So
and that's incredible. It's been how long now?
It's going to be 400 days tomorrow.
Wow. That's
and
massive.
And it's not a streak. It's not like I'm going back and forth on this.
No.
There are plants that I love. I love mushrooms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm not going to like sit here and eat mushrooms on camera and, you know, like it's very sacred. It's sacred. These plants.
It's how
like,
you respect.
Exactly. Yeah. And I've also had those moments where like I ate some mushrooms in the wrong places with the wrong people. And the mushrooms came to me and said, hey,
and they
what
hit
the
hard
fuck
as
do
well,
you think
don't
you're
they?
doing?
Yeah.
Go purge that shit out, walk away from these people, and we'll talk again in a few weeks.
They make you see really clear, right?
Yeah, so and I'm not against partying. I'm not against the party scene. Get fucked up. Go do your
done
thing.
It, like we've both done it. Like we've probably done everything there is possible to do.
I don't look down on people that go and party. I just realized that the reason I was doing it was not for a fun reason. It was for a running away from myself reason.
Yeah,
and it changes your personality. It changes everything. So. You have to be sober for a while to realize actually who the fuck you are, and then you can decide where you want to take it from there.
I think so. And I mean, for me, like the biggest part of that journey, I mean, I was already like taking time off, like cutting out everything. And that's probably in the lead up to why I was even able to fall pregnant, you know, and that was just a starting point. Now I see things just so differently and so much clearer. It's like I never want to go back to that like party mode that I was in. You know, I've had a couple of moments like where I have drunk too much and I just feel terrible the next day. And also being a mum, being a parent, like you can't allow for that. I mean, if you're hungover or you're not feeling good, they're not going to understand. They want mummy like at the 100%.
Yeah, and it's not fair. It's not fair.
No.
It's not fair for them to have to deal with your hangover.
No.
You know?
And they want to look up to their parents. Like they want to see, you know, perhaps what they want to become as well. Like whether they do or not. Like, but yeah.
Yeah. Everything your parents do, you're going to give an excuse for.
Yeah.
So, it's okay because my mom did that. You know what I mean? So by raising my own standards for myself, they have to raise their own standards for themselves.
Definitely.
Rosie said something to me the other day. Oh my God. So they're smart. They're so much smarter than I am. I swear to God, I got so lucky with them. And I was having...
It's amazing, right? When you see...
Yeah. I was having an issue with somebody who obviously hasn't done any inner work and was being kind of a bitch to me. and then it made me really like, I got into this state where I was like, ugh, I don't want to talk to this person. And I wasn't like angry or mean or anything, but I was just like a little bit, you know? And then Rosie's like, what's wrong, Mommy? And I was like, oh, I just talked to somebody that made me feel like not so good. It was, Mommy, why do you put why do you put yourself around people who don't treat you nicely? I was like, that's so smart.
Oh my goodness.
That's so smart. Just
walk
walk
it's
away
almost
from
like
this
your
shit,
own inner
right?
voice. Like now it's coming out with Rosie.
So everything I tell them, they just regurgitate it back to me, and like timing God. And when I say God, I don't mean like a white man with a beard in the sky. No. I just mean whatever made us.
Exactly.
I grew up religious, like Romanian Orthodox, so I was like taken to churches, and I love churches, but I love churches for the artwork and the energy and this and just the spirituality, not necessarily for the dogmatic
for everything else,
things that they tell you have to do. But I do love, I don't know, churches.
But and also the practice perhaps and going and attending.
Yeah. And so I don't know, I believe in timing, and I believe that like you hear things when you're supposed to hear them.
Exactly. I
don't
do
know.
too.
Synchronicities are everywhere.
It's like,
It's undeniable for me.
and
Like
if you
I talk
try,
to aliens all day long.
yeah,
So
I think if you try to ignore those as well, like you will see, like, um, I don't know, just things won't start flowing so well. There's been, like, on occasions, and you're like, I should have listened to myself, or I saw that, I should have trusted in my inner gut, like, as well. Like, you just need to.
Yeah.
Um,
But again, no regrets, because
No.
the thing is, like, by knowing now that I should have listened to my gut before,
Yeah.
I will listen to my gut in the future.
Yeah.
So then mistakes
Just
are so
reminders.
necessary. And with, with like drugs and alcohol, those mistakes that we're supposed to learn from, we don't learn from them when we're on drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
We we only learn from them way later.
But it's very hard
So-
as well, like in I guess in the industry that we work in, I mean, it's like what people say typically goes hand in hand, even though I know there's a lot of other DJs and producers who are sober now as well, and it's amazing to see that. I know everyone's got their own journey and however they want to approach things in life as well, but it can really consume you, I think, as well. And if you want to if you want to stay in doing it for a long time, you can't keep up like that, I think.
I mean, it's things in moderation. Like if you're
Yeah.
having a couple of drinks before you play on stage, fine. But if you're having a couple of drinks like every couple of hours, maybe look at that, know, and not just look at the consumption, but the
Yeah.
root and the intention behind it. Intention is so important.
Exactly.
But also the intention is not everything.
Yeah.
Because if you want to help somebody, like if I see somebody that has a problem and I want to help them, I may want to help them the way that I needed help.
Yeah.
But that's maybe not what
Not
that
what
person
they need,
needs,
or,
right?
or the way to approach it. Yeah.
So my intention, as pure and thoughtful and mindful and loving as it may be, could be the fucking opposite of what that person actually needs.
Exactly.
Maybe they don't need a lecture. Maybe they need a hug.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and with the drinking, I mean, it wasn't just drinking; it was everything. It was,
do you remember when we met and we were playing a gig in Frankfurt? I mean, this is an example of our lifestyle, right? So, we met in the club, and actually I was looking back on our texts, and you must have been playing perhaps after me, and maybe we finished at 5, 6, it was probably even 7 o'clock in the morning. So, and we figured out we both had the same flight back to Berlin. It's like, well, let's just stay up, of course, and drink and party, and then go to the airport and drink some more.
and that can be done.
And those are, like, they are funny moments. We were obviously much younger then, and
we weren't sloshed. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
I've never been like sloshed fucking going up to the airport. I'm happy. I'm happy go lucky.
Yeah.
It was easily manageable for me. So much of my music wouldn't exist if it weren't from those nights in studio. Like, do you know how I used to produce? I used to just go there at like 10 o'clock in the morning to the studio and come back at 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay? Come back at 10 o'clock.
I was going to say, I used to start at 10 p.m. or like sometimes around that time, which is like
and then
worse.
sometimes
and it was
I'd
all
listen
through
to the
the
music
night.
and be like, oh my God, what did I really make that? Yeah, because you were not sober.
And yeah, exactly. I mean, I kind of enjoyed doing it at that time though, and I'd like listen the next day and be like, I don't even remember like recording
present.
those. Yeah, it
There was
like,
no presence.
What were these vocals that I wrote?
Yeah.
And I recorded, and I'm like, sometimes I'm like, wow, you were like messed up, like
Yeah.
but that was a way of
learning
releasing,
lessons.
right? That was a
Exactly.
good way, and like if
Exactly.
you probably listen back to my tracks, there's a lot of messages in mine.
I feel that too.
Yeah. How are they? I wanted to ask, do the girls want to become DJs and producers?
I don't know what they
obviously?
want to become. They're both. Do
they love music?
They're so talented.
Yeah.
They love music, but Rosie is into drawing. She draws. I don't even know how. I mean, I'm an artist too, but like I was more abstract artist. She's drawing faces. She's drawing details.
Wow.
She's really
She's got
really
the talent.
good. Yeah. And also Izzy, she makes masks. She's a she's Etherian.
Wow.
So she's an animal. She's a wolf and a fox, and she does like
That's good, the
quadrobics and
fox.
gymnastics. And I told her get into parkour because that's like, I mean, you want to learn to jump on buildings like a cat. That's the way to go. But she's into skateboarding and graffiti. She's basically a badass.
I see, she's a little skateboarder.
Yeah, and apparently I'm cringe, but I'm mom, so
But you were also cool. You were doing those things.
Yeah,
when you were
I
younger.
was also a graffiti artist, but I was
Yeah.
getting in trouble at the time.
I've
She's
seen your
doing it-
photos of
She's
you.
doing it as a club. She's doing it graffiti club at school, which is cool. They learn can control and
No way. know. That's awesome.
No, they're very talented
So
and they're
very creative.
Yeah.
And I think being able to, you know, to be like creative and express at that age is probably so important.
Absolutely.
Which is, I know that I didn't have that when I was growing up. I know it's probably different for a lot of kids maybe now. Like we're able to give this to our children. But I love that.
Capacity. It's about capacity. If you have the capacity for that. So there are children, there are parents. For example, let me give you an example. It was Neil deGrasse Tyson. He had a post at some point about like kids playing with water, you know? And he goes, a lot of parents like don't let their kids play with water because, oh my God, water mess. Because you're making a water mess.
But it's important, right, isn't it, for them
because
to
why?
explore?
Because you don't have the capacity to clean up the water.
Yeah.
But what you're doing is you're taking an opportunity away from that child to learn about water, learn about gravity, learn about science in general.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the capacity to fucking clean up a tray. Like
we're going to start to ignore. I see with Cosmo already, like, not that I'm constantly saying it, but sometimes I shouldn't play on the word because I find it also funny. I'm like, no. And now it's going to become a joke soon.
Stop is also a good word because stop, there's a reason behind stop. And it's like if we're walking across the street and I say stop, there's a reason.
Yeah.
It's not don't cross the street because no car is coming. It's stop, there's a car coming.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like,
There's always a
halt,
reason behind it. So they have to respect that. They have to respect me and they have to listen to that. But I think the freedom and the creativity is fabulous. We need that as artists. If you don't have that, you're just stomping. So you're stomping on their heart. You know what I mean? You're killing their spirit. But also within the right framework and within the right boundaries. Because sorry, kid, you can't take I don't care if it's a Crayola marker. You're not doing that all over my walls. Do that in your room.
Yeah.
Okay. They have their own container. I told Rosie, I said, go nuts. You close this door to your room.
And she'll understand
She's painting eyelashes and makeup on all of her teddy bears, even the gigantic ones, which is super cute. But that's within the confines of your container. That's your container. You know what I mean? You don't take mommy's makeup for it. You don't do it to mommy's vinyls.
You're like, don't touch it. I mean, and you've got a nice collection.
You don't cut this hair, right? So give them freedom within the boundaries, within the container, and then let them go nuts. So they feel they have that control too. Because like kids who have no control, as children, will end up being control freaks.
Yeah.
Right here. So learning to let go, it was like the biggest challenge for me. Like also with this medicine journey, learning to let go, surrender. Like, what do you mean surrender? Then anything can happen to me. Then that's the whole point.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, you gotta let it go.
Yeah.
So and give yourself space, like to feel emotions, to feel anger, to feel creative.
That's beautiful,
to feel
though, to be able to spell. I don't think there's like any age. Like what I'm trying to say is like you can start like as early as you need to, really, in allowing your children to be able to do this, I guess, and express. But also, setting boundaries, saying like you can do this, but only here, or you mustn't do this there, or something like that. Just I think giving the positive, saying what they can do first, but only here.
And also explanation is important. I feel like when you can rationalize or try to rationalize something to a kid, they appreciate it because it's not just no, mommy said no, and then they're gonna find a way to make it a yes. Exactly. Without actually understanding why the no is. So I allow YouTube, but I don't allow unlimited YouTube. And after a certain time, because I explained, I said YouTube. Imagine you have just like McDonald's, and you eat McDonald's for breakfast and McDonald's for lunch and McDonald's for dinner, and then you have a McDonald's snack in between. How do you feel at the end of that day? You feel like shit.
Feel terrible,
right? So that's kind of like how your YouTube brain rot works. You can have a little bit entertainment, whatever. Have a chicken McNugget, have it whatever.
Yeah, but if you're doing it from morning to
then you're not going to feel good. You're going to feel, and you're going to be overwhelmed, and you're going to be stressed. And I've seen it because I've seen it like with my own kid, trying to take that device away from Rosie. It's the end of the world. You know what I mean? And you get to a certain point and it's the end of the world. So they have to find it. Like, we're coming to a place now where she's like, okay, mommy, that's enough. And I was like,
oh, wow.
Izzy, did you see that? She gave the phone back voluntarily.
Oh my goodness,
God. There was
incredible.
No fight.
Yeah.
I felt like a good mom in that moment. She got it somehow.
Yeah.
For them, it's also too much at one point. So.
And also maybe then saying like, oh, do you want to go and have a look at this instead? Or instead of maybe just like, give that back to me. Like, try and entice maybe with something more exciting. Yeah. And music, I think, would obviously help though, I don't know.
They have all the
Always.
devices.
Yeah.
They have synthesizers. I think their dad built at his house. He built like an entire room full of. It's a studio. It's essentially just
But
a kinder
for-
studio for them.
really? For them, a
yeah, he
kinder
has his own
studio? I
studio.
love
I mean,
that.
he would never produce music in that. in that room, that's like a fun room. It's like Chuck E.
Oh
Cheese.
my goodness,
Chuck
I
E.
would
Cheese,
love
but
to
with,
sit.
yeah, I'll send you pictures.
That's
it's
awesome.
it's fantastic. But they have their freedom and they have their devices and they
they
know how to
know.
work my equipment too. But they can't take my vinyls off the wall
Oh,
because you're not gonna
That's
know where to
also
put them
what
back.
yeah. Are they good like that? They haven't gone rummaging through?
They're not interested in that yet. They have,
Yeah.
trust me. Like I thought this was gonna be a problem. They're not even interested. They have their devices. They have their toys.
Yeah.
Izzy's on guitar now. She plays guitar, acoustic and also electric.
Amazing.
And of course, like with 11 years old, like they don't want to do mommy things. They want to do Roblox and they want to do playing with their friends. And yesterday she built a mask. She makes these masks. Incredible.
So talented.
Really, really talented. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. I love this. Yeah. Well, you've got two beautiful girls, and yeah, it must be so rewarding seeing them grow up and
When I know what I know about them, and this is because I talk to the astral world quite often. I go up there, and I know that those girls, they're older than I am. So they came here to school me, right? I don't know exactly how old they are, but I know one of them is way older than I am, and the other one is just older than I am.
That's incredible when you know this.
Yeah. So who am I to tell this ancient soul how to be? Maybe I should close the mouth and listen more, you know, and like make a life with them, not a life for them, you know?
It's so true that, and I've always said the biggest gift was like having Cosmo, and it's like, and I'm like, thank you for choosing me. Like, thank you for coming into my life or wanting to come here, because it's a miracle in itself. And, before I never even knew if I wanted to be a mum. I never even really thought about becoming a mum. And now I'm like, wow, what an incredible experience. Like,
And a responsibility.
yeah.
It's quite literally, I get to worry about you for the rest of my life.
I know, right?
What a wonderful thing. I get to worry about you for the rest of my life.
Yeah, my mum is like 78 now, 79 almost. And she's got us three girls still like, mom, like,
Yeah.
You got to think about that for a full lifetime.
Yeah.
That's it. Now
And isn't
you're
it
done.
funny, the dynamic? I mean, I'm 45 years old, and like when my mom comes around, I'm like, I have to remind her, I'm 45, not 425. You know what I mean? Speak differently to me.
She would still be like, no, but you're my little girl.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. And it's always coming with a good heart.
Yeah.
It's annoying sometimes because it's like, hey, please trust me that I'm doing things right. Like we're okay. We're okay. When you're in Canada over there, we're still doing our good life here, you know?
Does she come and visit often?
She comes and visits often, yeah. And
It must be nice.
It's
yeah.
really, really nice.
So
yeah,
it's
great
hard
to
because
have
you've
her.
got your mum in Canada. Yeah, my mum's in Australia. It's difficult, right? Not having your mum.
The support
close
system.
by.
I mean, I grew up with my grandparents because we lived on the 3rd floor and then they lived on the 16th floor in the same building.
Wow, that would be so nice.
Still lisping. Yeah, so I grew up with my grandmother who is, she's here.
Oh,
She's here right now.
amazing.
Yeah, she's my main spirit guide. And I didn't know that until 3 years ago when some really weird shit happened to me.
Telling me this.
It's and I don't know, something also very weird happened in like a ceremony a couple of weeks ago with all my ancestors collected behind me. A grandfather that I didn't grow up with came to me. They're all here all the time. So this feeling of like loneliness and I'm doing everything by myself. Yeah, I am.
But you've
I'm
got
not,
that.
But I'm not. And
that they're always around. That's a beautiful way
Yeah.
as well to know, and to feel that, especially that's incredible.
Yeah. And it just like taking things for what they are. Like nobody's perfect.
Yeah,
The
and
reason
that's
is
also
me.
focusing on yourself
Exactly.
as a mum and as an artist, and for yourself as well.
Yeah.
And then you can have that time. Yeah, because time is so precious as well.
The most precious.
And I think about it as well, like also becoming a mum, like I just was like, yeah, exactly. Why was I even spending time or talking to this person, like, or to that extent, or even sometimes, you know, as example, in back rooms or like at parties, and you're like, what did I need to? I mean, at the time, it's fun and that, but it's sometimes very unnecessary.
Yeah.
Because then you're taking away from, your personal time as well.
Yeah, I found it funny actually. Like, I heard a woman say, I heard a woman say on Instagram. By the way, when I say I read something, it means I watched a reel. So I read
Like
something.
that.
I read something
you
on
read
Instagram.
something on the reel.
And then she goes, the audacity that he would think that he's competing with another man. He's not competing with another man. He is competing with me and my own very limited, precious alone time.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're a man and I allow you to some space in my life and I make space in my life for you, you're not competing with other men. You're competing with me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So if you can't add some value to my life, if you are going to bring chaos and you're going to be, I don't know, the opposite of the energy that I'm inviting into my life, then you don't get to be in my life. Do you know what I mean?
That's
you have
so
to match
important,
my energy, my level. Because I have certain standards of myself and I have those certain standards of the people around me. And they're not like high, unreasonable standards. It's basically two things. Don't bring chaos constantly, right? I'm not saying don't have emotions. I'm saying don't be like a shit disturber, a constant shit disturber, because my nervous system will go out of whack. And have a willingness to work on yourself. Because if you don't have a willingness to work on yourself,
especially
we're
because
not going to fly.
Yeah, I was going to
know
say,
what I mean?
you've done that. You've taken the time.
Exactly.
You're at a certain level. So you want somebody to be at that same level or maybe even higher.
Yeah, and time is the most precious thing. I don't know.
And time just goes so quickly.
I've wasted a lot of it, but in hindsight, if I'm realizing these things at 45, not at 65, I just gained 20 years of life.
Exactly.
Because there are people who are going to die never having learned the lessons.
No.
And I didn't read this one somewhere. I remember actually who told me this years and years and years ago. He read it somewhere and he goes, what is the definition of hell? The definition of hell is getting to the end of your life and meeting the person you could have become.
Wait, yeah.
That hit me like a brick in the face. So, yeah, don't waste time.
No, exactly.
Because you don't have that much of it.
And that's such an important thing to remember and to action, I think, like straight away.
Yeah.
I only wish as well sometimes, you know, that people could recognize this in themselves, you know, and want to, because like you said, you can't tell somebody, you need to go and figure this out, or you need to go and do this self-work.
I've tried so many times.
You need to take this journey on your own. And I'm like, I know that I've come very, very far as well myself personally. And I still have a lot of work to do, you know.
We are evolving projects. Yeah. I don't think there's anybody who's healed. No. You have healed certain things, but there's no such thing as healed or I mean, we are, if you say you're healed, you're done evolving, then you might as well die.
Exactly.
You might as well die. Today's the day you die, because that's what we are. We are humans. We're made to evolve. Yeah. Right?
And I just, it excites me to see that I'm not that same person that I was. And sometimes, you know, I catch up with, like, say, friends or acquaintances that I hadn't seen for a while, and I'm like, you're exactly the same.
It's
like,
hard to watch.
What is
hard to
watch?
What's
going on? I mean, like, I know I've become a mum, and maybe that's like fast tracked me a little bit, but yeah.
I want to talk about something. I want to talk about micro lies. All these little micro lies that we tell ourselves, like as excuses for things of why we do things or why we don't do things. I was having this conversation with myself. Actually, micro lies is the
micro
lies is the name of my next track. It's called Safe. The EP is called Safe.
Okay.
Because safety is the most important thing. And I think that what really keeps us like very far away from ourselves are these little micro lies that we tell ourselves. So the more honest, the more radically honest that we can be with ourselves, the stronger and more rooted we are in who we actually are supposed to be. So, for example, the other day, I said something to somebody. My kid was like, "Mom, did you just say that to somebody on the phone?" And what I had said is, "No, thank you. I don't want to do that." Not no, thank you, I'm not interested, or not right now,
saying,
or
no,
not
I
another
don't want to,
time.
yeah.
No, thank you, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, not today, not
No,
tomorrow.
exactly,
Yeah, another day.
exactly.
Yeah,
There's no room. There's
yeah.
no open door. There's no. And she goes, Izzy goes, that was a bit rude. I go, I didn't say it in a rude way.
No.
I didn't mean it in a
You're
rude
just being
way.
firm with what you're
Right.
saying.
No, thank you. Thank you very
Yeah.
much for the opportunity. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Right. And
It sounds
that
very
right there
polite
is
to me.
empowering.
Yeah.
That is empowering. And if that's what I can imprint on them, is just stand up for yourself.
Because I mean, and you've answered basically my final question would be like, yeah, words of advice, or what you would even say to your daughters and what you would say to the audience as well.
Yeah.
And that's it then.
If it feels wrong, don't do it. And if it feels wrong and you do it, please use that as an opportunity to learn, because nobody ever is going to do the right thing all the time. And if you do the right thing all the time, that's super boring,
Yeah.
right? Like what makes us are the mistakes that we made and how we've learned from them. So be mindful and be present. Presence is the most important thing.
Exactly, isn't it? That's one thing I learned, just being present, not trying to seek or think about the past or the future too much.
Yeah.
Like always just be in the moment.
Yeah. Follow your dreams. Don't let people tell you what to do, and listen to your gut.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. It's been so nice.
Thank you. I wish we could talk all day.
I know. We could continue.
Were there any more
forever.
questions there on your list that did we touch everything?
I think we've touched everything actually. Yeah. And for me, it was perfect just to be able to dive in.
Is, this thing with pressure and the pressure of being a mommy, that's never going away, right? So it is our responsibilities to put our nervous systems in a place where we can handle that, and we can handle that capacity for ourselves and for our children. Because what good am I going to be to them if all I do is do, and I'm always stressed out? That's not good for them.
No.
So it may sound selfish, but you have to do what's right for yourself first.
Exactly.
Right? I don't feel guilty anymore.
Because that reflects onto them. And actually, when you've mentioned nervous system, I think that's one of the most important things for me, is making sure that
regulates us. It
nervous
drives
system
who we are.
is calm. And I know that I'm transferring that when I do the deep breaths where I relax and it comes and lies on me, that energy is like...
Yeah, and that's why the micro lies, because
over,
if you're lying to yourself about, I'm perfectly fine, I'm just doing this for the kids,
you're not.
They feel it. Yeah. They know it. They'll come up to me,
Their
especially the
intuition
little one,
is so
Rosie.
much stronger.
I'll be cooking
age.
or something, and she'll come up and just hug me from the back, and she goes, I feel you needed this.
Oh my goodness, that's so beautiful.
I was told also not to do this anymore. Because it's cringe, Mom. But yeah, take care of yourselves, your heart. Yeah. Be grounded, be rooted, do whatever the fuck you need to do for yourself. Because if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
And thank you. That's it.
Perfect. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. That was great.